And when I started to realize that I was no longer living my desires, I had to figure out what to do next. And when I followed my heart, that's when I realized that everything was meant to happen this way. It was meant for me to lose 150 pounds. It was meant for me to actually to overcome and to go to that job so that I can see what my true purpose was. Because I think a lot of us, we tend to forget that we have all talents that God gave us, but we tend to neglect those talents because we add so much value to other people's vision and their talents, and we build that vision, and the next thing you know, they're multi-millionaire, and then we're looking around saying, but what happened to my vision? And when I made that decision to walk away from that job, it was like I opened up so many opportunities for myself to realize that, you know what, this is the best thing. That if more people woke up every morning understanding the true meaning as to why they need to wake up and why they need to fulfill the passion that they feel in their heart, I really believe we will have a society with happier people, happier and more fulfilled people. A lot of people are not following their hearts. I think someone said to me the other day that the graveyard has the most dreams because a lot of people die because they never fulfilled their dreams. And to me, that's very disturbing. And I know that throughout my 20s, I was under the mindset of, get all the degrees, work for the major companies, get the top paying job. And really, that's where you're going to find your success. It wasn't until I realized this was one of my success stories. This was really the breaking point to my life to realize that I had so much more to give and that there was really more to life than just having the best job or having that title. John Maxwell, he always discussed his first level of leadership is position. And what position is that you're just a title holder. And I really do believe that for those 8 months while I worked at that job, I was just really a title holder. And I hated that. And now I realize that I'm living my purpose. I'm really living the things that I am supposed to do, the things that God actually put me here to do. And yes, a lot of us, it takes a long time. I came across an amazing article 2 days ago, and it highlighted, I think it was 10 women who became successful entrepreneurs in their 30s. And that gave me a lot of motivation because we tend to look at these young entrepreneurs, the 21-year-olds, the 19-year-olds. And for me to see that there were women out there who did not find their true passion or their true purpose until they were 38 and 45. There were some women in their 50s who found their true purpose and they followed their hearts after years of doing other things. And I think that's what matters. And if we got out of the mindset of just chasing money and we actually got into the mindset of just really chasing what we love to do and that's going to actually help and benefit others, I think we would have such an amazing society, but we don't. So we always look at don't follow your heart. Following your heart is a death trap. Following your heart is going to lead you to being broke and poor. And it's really not true. The problem, thank you, Jones. The problem is that a lot of us are afraid of failing. And part of failing has a lot to do with understanding that failure. When we look at the face value of a situation, we think about it and we say, oh my gosh, I invest $100 and I can't believe I failed. I can't believe, this was not successful. Dad, you know what, forget it. I knew I wasn't going to do it. When you have that type of mindset and you end the conversation by saying, I knew I wasn't going to be successful, then that's exactly what you went in. And those are the results that you were looking for. So a lot of us, we do look for our failures. A lot of people I notice, they don't even try. I always tell the story. 2 years ago, I met this young man, and when you listen to him, he was passionate about whatever it was that he wanted to tell you. And he's like, oh my gosh, I have this amazing idea. I'm going to patent this. I'm going to, I know I don't have the ability to invent it, but I'm going to patent the idea because, I'm going to find the right people and they're going to make it. And oh my gosh, like he would never disclose. He would never share. And I understood. I respect that. So that was over 2 years ago now. So fast forward to about 2 months ago, and we were having a conversation, and it really led up to the conversation came because he said, oh, today is Monday. And he said it just like that. And I started laughing. I said, well, why are you like, what's wrong with Mondays? And he's like, I mean, don't you hate Mondays too? And I started laughing and I said, no, I don't hate Mondays because I wake up every day, 7 days a week. I don't think about Saturday and Sundays as being days off because I work Saturday and Sundays. I said, no, I'm actually happy that today is Monday. It's a new week. It's a new day. I said I have opportunities to explore new opportunities and to meet new people and to just do new things. I said you can't look at Mondays as a death trap. I said, and you can't look at Fridays as the escape route. Like that's not the way life is supposed to be. When you are following your heart, you're not looking for Fridays and you're not dreading Mondays. So I said, hey, what happened to that patent idea? And he was like, oh, she don't have the time. Of course, he gave me a long laundry list of excuses. And I said, okay, I left that conversation alone. And I'm one of those people that don't ever come to me and tell me that something costs too much, because I'm going to always do the research for you because that's how much I care about someone else's success. So if you tell me, I'm looking for this, if I have 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to go and I'm going to look for it. And if I find it, I'm quickly going to send it to you because that's what helping other people is about. So I found out that it's about $300 to $400 to do the patent. So I immediately called him and I said, hey, so it's taken about 2 years to get $300 together, I see. And he's like, what? I said, it must be taking 2 to 3 years to get $300. And he was like, what are you talking about? I said, well, that's how much it costs to get the patent. I said, I did the research. I forwarded him all the information. I said, so now what's your excuse? I said, because I was on your Facebook and you have a picture with you and Johnny Walker, and that bottle alone is about $100. So imagine if you would have utilized that money, put it in an envelope and worked hard to get $200 more to get your patent in the last 2 years. Don't you think you probably be a little bit more successful or closer to the success that you want versus still sitting in the same position or probably in a worse position from 2 years ago? Silence. That's when I tell people at that point, your failure is really on you. We don't fail because we don't try. We fail because we don't try. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Understand that it's not because the economy, it is not because of your job, it is not because of your family. It's really because of you. Like if you are not getting up and saying, today I need to do something that's towards this big idea that I love, that I know if I put just 20% of my time, 20% of my energy into it, I'm going to get the results that I want. If you do that, then you will start to see the success. So I told him, when you're ready for that true happiness and you're ready to live in that purpose, call me because I'm willing to help you to get to that next level, but you have to be willing to do some work. So that's one aspect of failure that I think a lot of people have to stop making excuses about. It really is up to you. You know what you have the ability to do. And if you want it, you have to make it happen. You have to want it. And that's the one thing that I truly love about everything that I do. I want this. I wake up every morning at 4:30, and the idea's already going. There are some nights that I can't sleep through the night because ideas are generating. Like when you are living, and I know if there's anyone out there right now who understands what I'm saying, you know, when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and the only thing that you can think of is some new idea, a new way to reach a person. Exactly, Bola. That is your passion and that is your purpose. And that is what people, that's what I want people to feel. I want people to wake up having that momentum, not sitting on the side of the bed counting how many sick days they have and debating whether or not they should call out. That's a horrible feeling, you know. I know how that feels to sit there and you're just dreading. You're like, hold on, where's my pay stub? Let me go into ADP because I need to see if I have any personal days. That's not, and exactly, that's not living. You're really a zombie. I did a video the other day and I was very candid. And I said, if you don't know your purpose, if you don't know your reason why, don't even get up. Stay in bed. It's like stay there, lay down, figure it out. Because if that's the one thing that you cannot live without. Like I can't live without helping someone to find their purpose, helping someone to become healthier and to find that level of success once they align their lives with healthy living. Like I don't know what people are doing. Like I don't realize, I mean, I think back to when I was in that seat where it was hard for me to get up out of my bed to go to a job. And, you know, you're right. You're not living. You're just kind of just going with the flow. We're enjoying the fruits of our quote unquote labor, but some of us don't. Some people don't even go on vacations. So, you know, when you follow your heart, that's when you know. And again, going back to understanding the failure. The second part of understanding failure is knowing how to look at that problem or look at that negative and turn it into a positive. Now, this is all new to me because I am one of those people when challenges come my way, if it's not really easy for me to fix, then I just like, look, this is not meant for me. That's the old Tanisha. So I recently started to do more advertising on Facebook, on social media presence. And I started to realize that one of my videos were not receiving the views like one of my previous videos. And the videos to me, I think like the message was like really strong. So I was like, I don't think it's the message. I think there's a problem with my, you know, my promotion. What's the issue? So I started to, you know, me being a researcher, I went back to my old ads because now they really give you details. They tell you the gender, they tell you the age groups, they tell you the locations. So I was very, very intrigued by the fact that most of the people that were looking at the other videos and my other ads, they came from Jamaica. Not Jamaica, New York, Jamaica, the island. So I'm like, so people in the US, they don't want my help. People in Canada don't want my help. And at first, I really felt defeated. Instead of me looking at the problem, I really, for about 5 seconds, I felt like a failure. I felt like, you know what, let me just take this ad down because it is not receiving the results, you know, between organic and paid advertisement. So I really just wanted to give up. And it wasn't until I called one of my friends, actually, who's on with us today, Bola, and she helped me to realize that, one, you have to realize that everyone is not always going to need your message at that one particular time. So currently, it's not that people and women do not need to know my message for healthy living in the United States, but there's a need for me and my message for women and people in Jamaica. And that's how she helped me to realize that it's not dwelling on what's not working, but let's look at what is working. So immediately I modified the advertisement and I added Jamaica. And like within about 6 hours, I received 200 more views in just a span of 6 hours versus previously I had about 100, maybe a little bit shy of 200 views in a span of 1 day. So for me to add a whole new market into that whole ad, I was able to now double my views. And it was because I had to appreciate the failure of not focusing on the United States, but now transitioning and saying, hey, maybe there's something for me to do. Maybe this is a new market. And I started to do research, and I saw that Jamaica, they're dealing with obesity. They have a high population of diabetes. So it was an eye opener, and I appreciated that, because instead of me looking at the bad parts, it allowed me to look at a whole new market. And I immediately started contacting people there. And like within 2 to 4 hours, I was receiving feedback. Like people in Jamaica were like, yes, I would love to collaborate. We would love to work together in the near future. And it was just like, wow, that just gave me confirmation that if you follow your heart, that regardless of what, it is not going to always seem as though that you are failing, but you have to just find your niche. You have to find the thing that works for you. That's just like my weight loss journey. You have some people who are talking all about fitness. They're talking about the different diets. People are discussing weight loss surgery. And one way is the way that I went, and that's just with healthy living. It's not saying that's the solution for everyone, but that is something that has helped me to not only to become a physically healthier person, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And it has allowed me to look at life totally different, because if I was in the same space 3 years ago, 9 times out of 10, if Bola would have told me that same exact message, I would not have listened. I would have called her a liar, and I said, you know what? I'm giving up. I'm tired of this. And I would have looked at that failure as a true failure, and I would have probably closed that chapter out. So when you know that you're growing and you're becoming a healthier person, mind, body, and spirit, it starts to flow through all aspects. That's why I had to change the focus from being a weight loss coach and really just being a healthy lifestyle coach, because so many people lack that understanding that changing your mindset can change everything in your life. The way that I view food, the way that I view life has changed, all because of the fact that I choose to be healthy. I choose to allow healthy living to consume every part of my life. And that is how I am able to follow my heart. Yes, I do not have a job. That is a fact. I do not have a full-time job to back me, but guess what? I still eat my food. I still get to have some entertainment. I'm still living my life because I am allowing my heart and my passion to drive me. That is my purpose. And when you know that, you are going to allow that drive to get you through that failure, because you have to know that any kind of success comes with failure. I always think about Bill Gates. I am, you Apple people, I know you love your Apple products, but I am one of those people that love Windows. And I always remember right after XP, Bill Gates came out with Windows Vista. And I think that was that was a horrible operating system. I mean, everyone complained about it. My college roommate, freshman year, she had a brand new computer and it hardly ever worked because she had the new operating system, and I had Windows XP. And I constantly always think about that moment. Imagine if Bill Gates would have given up. Imagine if he would have looked at the projections and the actuals for for Windows Vista. Don't you think that he probably would have given up? But he couldn't give up. He had to say, you know what? We win some, you lose some. Every successful person, if you do your research, can tell you a moment when they were told no, a moment when a product did not sell properly the way that they anticipated. Look at artists. Artists can work hard for an album, put it out, and it flops. That person has to understand it's not because that they're not talented. It's not because that they're not gifted. It really has to do with maybe it was the delivery. Maybe it was how you your marketing strategy. I constantly always tell people about the times when I worked at Rockefeller Records. I always felt that it was wrong that they would spend so much money in putting backing for all Jay-Z's albums. Every album Jay-Z came, I started on a street team. They would give us the big posters. We got to go. We're in the streets. We're handing out flyers all for Jay-Z's album. But now when Memphis Bleek's album came out, we were told 2 weeks before before the date that it was to drop, and we were given a couple of flyers like the week of, but there was really no push. There was really no one putting it out there that his album was coming out. So people automatically assumed that just because he did not sell a 500,000 copies the first week that he was not successful. That's not true. He just didn't have the proper marketing strategy. The label did not give that push. That's the same thing that you have to look at yourself. You have some people who self-promote. They self-promote everything. They put their book up. They have their pictures. They have their Twitter tags. Like, they are constantly promoting. They have T-shirts and they walk around. They promote on their cars. They are constantly self-promoting. And then you're wondering, wow, well, why is that person so successful and I'm not? Well, what are you doing to promote yourself? Have you put up anything on Facebook? Did you put up anything on Instagram? You have to really start looking at the things that you're doing to see if you're truly living to your full potential. That's how you know if you're really following your heart. And when you start to really see that, I'm failing. And before you start making excuses or placing blame, really start to understand where the failure is coming from, and then try to find that one light. Look at the light. There's always one light in every downfall. And when we look at that one light and we don't dwell on the negative and we find our success, you will be so surprised. The things that you go in with the intentions, sometimes they get tweaked. The one thing I am learning about being an entrepreneur is being flexible. You can have all the plans, but when you walk into that door, something comes out of you, the energy from the people, and then next thing you know, your plans are out the window. And now you have a successful event. You have a successful program. You have a successful idea. You don't know where your success is going to really come from, but you have to just know that if you show up with the purpose, show up knowing why, and follow your heart, that all you're going to do is be successful. And even if you do not have 100 people as your very first event, exactly, Bowler, you have to be open. If you don't have 100 people at that very first event, then guess what? If 5 people showed up, that was a success. I hear promoters talk about that. They have a grand opening to a brand new club, and half the building is empty. They don't dwell on the fact that the other half didn't show up. They dwell on the fact of how did the people that showed up, how did they feel? What was their energy? Did they enjoy themselves? You can't dwell on the things that you can't fix. If it's something that's wrong, find the one thing that's right, tweak it, and go with that. And yes, you have to live with expectations. I know that I expect a lot from myself. And one of my challenges, and I constantly challenge myself, is I try to keep my expectations high, but I also try to really, like I said before, be flexible. There's things that I never wanted to do that I'm doing now. I'll be very candid. I never wanted to be a fitness instructor. I didn't want to do any physical activities. I really just wanted to stand, speak to the people, give them the guidance, the motivation, inspiration. But the one thing that I realized and I saw was that I had more people contacting me to guide them in some sort of physical activity in addition to the coaching. So I could not neglect the coaching and the physical activity. I had to kind of just bend, and I had to tweak it to where I was comfortable, because I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not Jillian Michaels. We're not going to do series level 1, 2, and 3, and we're not going to work out for 2 hours straight. That's not the type of healthy living that I promote. I promote physical activity. You want to move, you want to burn, you want to get your body going. I'm the person to come to. But if you're looking for weights and we're sitting in the gym for hours in a day, then I'm not that person. So I had to be flexible. And now I'm noticing that, you know what? it's a good thing that I've added the physical activity to my coaching program, to the clients that I work with in that capacity, because it has now given me more energy. It's given me, again, more opportunities to work out in a day, which is great, because in the past, that's how I got down to 190 so quickly, because I was working out 3 to 4 times a day with my clients in addition to my own workouts. And because it's your purpose, when you have those additional 3 to 4 sessions, it doesn't feel like work. You don't feel tired. It's not like when you work out by yourself and you're just like, let's get these, come on, get these done well. Let me do some squats. It's not like that. Like, you're energized because you are inspiring someone to get out of their own way. You are inspiring someone to show them, like, look, imagine if you finish this set of push-ups. Just imagine you finish this set. Guess what you can do after that? Like, people don't see the connection of how you can lose 5 pounds and find that use that same steps, those same exact steps, to now start a new business. People don't see the connection. They tell me all the time, Tanisha, I don't know how we're going to bring those two together, but it's possible, because I'm living proof. I am here to tell you that because I lost over 150 pounds, starting at over 350 pounds, I weighed over 350, almost 400 pounds. And I have managed to lose over 150 and maintain it. In addition to that, I am doing something that is helping, that's going to inspire and continue to motivate others to not only lose weight and to get healthy, but to choose a life that is going to give them so much joy, and it's going to feel so delicious. And they're going to just wake up and say, you know what? I know why I'm waking up today. I know my purpose. I know that there is a reason why God gave me this opportunity to see this new day, because there's so much more that I can do going forward. And when you continue to have that mindset, you're going to just start to forget about those failures. You're going to just allow them to just come along, because they're part of the journey. Every person who is successful can tell you Donald Trump has lost property. Jay-Z was turned down from a record deal. Oprah was told no on parts. Everyone has had some level of failure, and look at them now. And I don't know about you, but that's my motivation. That's my drive, because I've been told, I'll tell this story right now, because I was in my feelings before, but I was recently contacted by Dr. Oz show, and they really loved me. They were like, Tanisha, we would love to have you on the show to discuss your weight loss journey. And I was excited, and I really felt in my heart that this was my chance. This was my opportunity to shine, to stand on his stage, and to share my story, to let people know that you can change your life with healthy living. They didn't choose me. Dr. Oz, I was told, he loved me. He loved my video. He loved my energy. But they went with someone who lost more weight. So the person might have lost, I think they said, like 175, whereas I only lost 150. And I understood. And again, at first, I felt like a failure for about 5 seconds. And I look at that opportunity now, today, because this just happened yesterday. I look at that opportunity and I said, you know what? I have my story. I have my story to tell, so that when I get to that point, I can tell someone, you know what? Dr. Oz told me no. Dr. Oz said that, he didn't want me on his show. And guess where I'm at today? So that's my motivation. That's how I look at that. I don't look at that. I'm not angry with Dr. Oz. I'm not going to write a Dear John letter. I'm not going to go on Twitter. I needed that opportunity to push me to say, you know what, Tanisha, that's okay. There's another platform that needs you. There's another group of women, a group of men that need you, and that you will be on someone's stage and you will share that story and you will inspire someone to get out their own way and to see that healthy living has the ability to truly change their lives. I'm not angry. I do not look at that no as being told that Tanisha is not worthy. Tanisha is not a good author. Tanisha is not an amazing speaker. I did not, and I do not look at that as a downfall. And I think if we continue to have that positive mindset and we look at those no's or the failures or those down moments as opportunities to push us and to drive us to doing such amazing, great things, we would have so many successful people out there who are loving their lives, who are enjoying each moment, and who are really looking towards following their heart and living in their purpose despite whatever fears that they have about failing. So if you continue to push yourself and place yourself in that seat of, I know that I can do this. And you have to have so much belief in your gift and your talent. Like, I have so much belief. I know that I am going to stand on the stage at Madison Square Garden and speak in front of a sold out arena. I know that. I believe that in my heart because I believe in what my message is. And I believe that there are so many women out there who need to hear my story. There are so many men out there who need to know that being healthy is more than just losing weight and, having a nice body. Being healthy is, treating your mind right, treating your spirit correctly, treating your heart. So many men are carrying around depression and all these other unhealthy issues. They're grieving and they feel as though I'm a macho man. I can't show my feelings. Forget about that. Put your health first, because once you cleanse yourself and once you start to detox, it becomes so delicious. It's like one of those moments when you're just like, how did I live without this for so long? And you want those moments. I know that I appreciate those moments now. I appreciate the challenges that I've had. And I know that everything was meant to happen the way that they happened. And I'm following my heart. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. And despite what people might believe, is that, in my heart, I am wealthy. I am rich. And I know that as I continue to share and I spread that positive message, I think so many times people utilize platforms for the wrong messages. And I think if people really heard more of people stepping out on faith and really taking a risk at being happy, that they will realize and open up their eyes to see that they are not happy. A lot of, I always watch movies and I see, I have the big house. I have the, 10 cars in my driveway. And that's what people consider happy, and they consider that successful, but they have no one around them. I don't consider that successful. I want to be able to see when people sending messages. And I love reading my reviews on Amazon where people are, responding to my book. And they're telling, to me, oh my gosh, she's so transparent. Her stories are, this is my story. When I hear that, that's what makes me realize that this book was meant for me to write. When people tell me that your story is my life, I'm like, God, like that's a message that I think so many authors want to hear, especially when authors are writing books that are really helping someone. You want someone to read your book and to see their life and see that there is an opportunity for that light at the end of the tunnel. And I'm happy to have those moments, and I cherish those moments because they truly bring me to the place that I am today, the place where I'm at and I'm able and I'm comfortable to share my story. For so long, I was always hiding. I wanted other people to be the face of my brands. And instead of me embracing that I am a brand and I need to step forward and I need to share and I need to let people know that you have to follow your heart. You have to put your health first. And when you do those two things, your health is going to lead to your success. So I am so thankful that you guys came and you listened. If you have any questions, does anyone have any questions that they would like to ask, whether it's about how do you start following your heart? How do you overcome life's challenges, any failures? Please do not hesitate to jot down your questions. No questions tonight? Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. Again, if you need to get a copy of my book, Transition to a Healthier You, How I Lost Over 140 Pounds, and you can too, you can go to my website, healthissuccess.com, and you can purchase my book in the Shop Healthy Living section. And you can also, if you're interested, I have a virtual wellness center that is truly taking off. It's allowing me to connect with women, not just here in the United States, but internationally, to do meditations, to give inspirational, motivational videos, to give them access to have the ability to work out with me in the comfort of their homes, and to have it where it's not where they just see me, but it's just like how Blab is. Their videos could pop up and I can see them, to give that real one-on-one interactive personal training, but also to have small group sessions. So it's an amazing platform. It's something that I think will really change so many women's lives, especially those who are professional. We struggle with the balance of children, careers, education, and just social involvement, and we tend to neglect ourselves. And I think that having an ability to log in at home from the comfort of your office to have a session for 30 minutes would truly help anyone to see the long-term results, because that's going to establish a lifelong lifestyle change. So I hope and many of you can go share this blab about it, tell a little bird, tell your aunt on Facebook, and let people know. I will be back next week. I will schedule it in advance so that you will have more notice in advance of knowing what the topic is about. And again, if you can, get a copy of my book, Transition to a Healthier You, How I Lost Over 140 Pounds, and you can too at healthissuccess.com. Have an amazing night, guys. Love you.